And there we are. We are live.
Hey, what a much better person it is to be next to you right now than Simon Says, other than me. Thank God that weasel has the little sniffles and a little cold little baby.
Oh, geez. Oh, geez. The heat's starting already.
Little helmet head. Take some
Let's throw that.
NyQuil, wipe your vagina, and get on the phone.
Did you see how I started the show last week?
I did, and I laughed and laughed and laughed. Yes, I did.
And it was great because he popped for it from the start. He was like, "Oh," he thought I was putting over his Simon Says network, and then he saw the video. He was like, "Oh, what the fuck."
That video was so much fun. It brought back so many memories of us doing parodies and stuff like that. And it was just so much fun to do. And I don't even think we really planned the whole falling in the pool kind of thing and everything else. Or you hitting me in the head with the baseball.
Well, here's the funniest part about the baseball. This was the part that I thought of was when I threw it, I was like, because I guess it didn't dawn on me when we actually did it and I threw it. I'm like, I literally could have hit you right in the face with a baseball.
Anywhere. Yeah. I thought about that too after the fact, after watching it like 3 times last week. Yeah, it was funny.
It's either A, I had really good aim, or you just put your head down and saw it coming.
And just prayed.
But either way, the way we worked together, it all worked out. So it's like,
yes.
But I do have something. I have something to show you that you're going to laugh at.
Okay.
So you know how I do all the charity stuff that I do, the nonprofit events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you've seen the events where I go to like Ranch Rome for Boys and Girls Club, and I'm dressed as a cowboy. So I'm a cattleman for Boys and Girls Club. So I have a big giant belt buckle that has Boys and Girls Club cattleman. So, but there's other events I go to where I got to dress like a cowboy, but I don't have a belt buckle. So I went and I found a belt buckle and I bought it. It just came in the mail today. You're gonna pop huge for this. You ready?
Oh my
Hopefully
God.
You'll be able to see it.
Let me put on my glasses. There you go. Oh my God. What?
So it says Championship Wrestling and it's got a bunch of wrestlers on it.
That's hilarious.
And it's got some big saying in the back about wrestling.
Yeah, it's really hard to see, but yeah, that's
you know
hilarious.
What? It's heavy. Well, I mean, so here's that actually looks like he's doing something weird to a baby.
That does look weird.
Yeah, here he is up on the rope.
Yeah, that I can see. That
like
you
he's
can
trying
tell.
To breastfeed a baby.
Yeah, I don't know it. Yeah, that's weird.
All right, now he's up on the rope doing the puncher, and then is that a camel clutch?
That's what I was going to say. Camel clutch
kicking
thing.
It.
That's
and
funny.
It's got Championship Wrestling down the bottom, and it's heavy. It's got to weigh at least a pound.
I don't know how you find these things.
I found this on eBay.
But what made you Google it? Like, what made you go on eBay and Google like wrestling belt buckle? I mean, what?
Yes, I did.
Did you really?
I actually wanted to. Yeah, they actually had an IWGP Championship belt one. If I went to Japan, I may have gotten that one. I was hoping they had like a world title one. Like they had plastic ones, but I'm like, I need a real. So I was hoping they had like the WWE Championship one, but that they did have one, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And it was like, so this was like, I don't know, $50, $60. The WWE one was like a lot more expensive, but I would have paid it to walk around with the WWE Championship.
That would have been hilarious. Yeah,
I would have
100%.
Yeah, so it was sitting here, and I'm like, oh, Glenn's going to really pop for this one.
Yeah, I love that. That's funny.
Oh, man. Yeah, so anyway, that's all I got. So what's going on?
Same old, same old. At the gym. I guess you can't really tell, but yeah, I'm in the office of the gym.
I was like, is that a whiteboard behind you? You putting people's workouts up there?
No, it's actually a window that we covered up so nobody can see into the office. Yeah. Yeah.
You're hiding in there.
Yeah. Not very office type, but we don't spend much time in the office.
Well, look, I'm in my office too. So.
Yeah, I know.
I'm in my office too. Hey, so I'm at the gym. I went late today. because I hired a new person at the office, so I had to go in. I have to go into the office early every day this week.
Right.
You should feel really bad for me that I have to actually drive to the office.
Yeah, I do. I feel for you.
So I went to the gym late today and I ran into Larry. Brandon.
Really?
Yeah, he was in there working out. So I was like, oh, look at this. I walked up behind him. I don't think he knew it was me. So I walked up behind him. I started tickling his neck. I'm like, bro, you work out? And I was talking to him when I'm getting ready to leave. I'm like, so I'm seeing you July 30th, not July 3rd.
Yeah, that was a big oops.
Yeah, because it's funny too. I look back at the text, and just so the people that are listening or that will listen to this, we have a show. There's a camp here where we live. It's a camp. It's a kids camp. I don't know if he still calls it the Yes Camp or not after Daniel Bryan. But the guy that runs it, Yale's a big wrestling fan, and every year they put on a show for the kids, and it's amazing because it's the easiest thing in the world to do. There's 200-300 kids there.
Yeah,
And
a lot of kids. Yeah,
gymnasium. It's in the gymnasium. It's like screaming. It's super loud. It's super easy. So Glenn and I do it every year. So we're doing it, and Larry sent me a text. Larry puts it together. If you don't know Larry, he was the Heavenly Bodies with him and Chris. Is that what they were?
Yes.
They're former NWA World Tag Team champs. But he sent me the thing. It said Wednesday, July 3rd. It didn't dawn on me looking at the calendar that July 3rd was a Thursday until I said to him, "Oh, so we're good. We're good for next Thursday." He's like, "No, it's Wednesday, July 30th." I'm like, "No, you said July 3rd," but not realizing.
When you sent me the date, I thought it was a little weird being the day before, the 4th of July and everything. And I was just like, oh, well, maybe they're doing like a big party or something before the 4th of July. I don't know. So I didn't question it. I didn't even think about it.
I didn't either. And I didn't even realize that it said Wednesday, July 3rd. Yeah, so it's the 3rd. And here's the funny part is, so the 31st, July 31st, Tyler and I are heading up to my brother's for the weekend. We're going up that Thursday. So I was going to go up July 4th weekend, but I didn't because we couldn't go Thursday because we had the show.
Right.
So I could have went up to my brother's for July 4th next.
Yeah. And I can't do the show on the 30th because me and Gina, my wife, her birthday is on August 4th, and she's turning 50. Shit, old ass. So
that's what she wants everyone to know. She turned 50.
That's right. And so we're going out to like LA to do like Disneyland, and then we're jumping on a boat and doing a cruise and shooting some content for the travel agency we have going on now. And so we're gonna start putting out more content very, very, very soon.
Have you do you have a selfie stick?
No, I got a gimbal. They call it a gimbal. It's like this. It's like that big, and wee big. But it's a gimbal. It's really cool. It's a tripod versus selfie stick, and it moves with your face, and it shows no bouncing. And yeah, we went high tech, and we got little microphones too.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Okay, that's almost like the thing I had for Tyler when he was playing soccer. I put the little chip on him and follow him around.
And it was so I know what you're talking about. Does the same thing. It does like face recognition, where just if you go this way, it just moves with you, and it's really smooth. It's really cool. So yeah, trying to get more attention.
You want to make sure you got to make sure you show more of everyone else. No one really wants to see your face on your.
I realize, especially when it's all gray. Yes, I know. Thanks.
Listen, embrace the gray. Embrace it. I trim mine down. Gab actually said to me, she goes, trim it down. It won't look so gray. And I'm like, why won't it look so gray? It's gray. So I trimmed it down a little bit more than I normally do. I'm like, it's still gray.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? It's gray is gray. What are we going to do?
I got my so much streaks in there.
I'm not worried.
What?
Yeah, I don't care at this. I'm not doing your dye, your hair for men or whatever it is that you use.
It just makes me feel good.
Your hair for men, whatever it's called.
It's like women with their nails. I dye my beard. It makes me feel younger. It makes me feel pretty.
Okay. Listen, whatever makes you feel pretty, that's what matters.
That's right.
Hey, being that you jumped on what's that?
I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't say anything. Tag, you're it.
Oh, okay. We're off to a good start here.
Yes.
We're 10 minutes in and lost. Yeah, so no. So let me ask you a question. Because I had, Simon, not feeling well and kind of, getting you on last minute. There was really no planning whatsoever. Not that him and I had a plan either, but so I was thinking, like, question we get asked all the time is like our favorite matches, like our favorite match we had, and list them and stuff like that. Take out Ground Zero, WrestleMania, the Road Warriors. Take out country whipping matches, because we all know about those. Give me one of your other favorite matches, like if you had to list it after those. Because what I did with the book, and I have it. I don't have it here. I don't have it on this copy. Is I made a list of like my top 10 matches, and in no particular order. I just basically did Amber.
She has to put her 2 cents in.
She's literally staring at nothing and barking. I listed them in chronological order. So if you had to pick besides those, it could be when you first started, when you first went to Japan, anything other than the typical ones that everyone on every podcast we ever do asks us about.
So I think one of my most favorite matches that we had in WWE was.
It doesn't have to be we. It could be you or wherever.
It was when we wrestled Mark Merrill, and at the time he was Marilyn Manson Dust. And I think we were doing a lot of stuff with Marilyn, with Mark and Dustin at the time. And it was, what was it? It was the Valentine's Day Massacre or something like that. No Way Out of Texas. I think it was a pay-per-view.
I know. As soon as you said, I knew which one you were going to.
Yep.
And I knew it was in Houston. It was pay-per-view in Houston.
Even though Dustin got me busted open, I felt like that, and we got in trouble, or I got in trouble because, somebody else was supposed to get color that night, and that just ruined it for them.
Well, it's not like you did it on purpose.
I know, exactly. I thought that was one of our better matches. Some other ones that I really, really enjoyed that I really, of course, wrestling Ric Flair. Was one of them, and it was so weird when we did a signing, and he was at it. It was the one we did up in North Jersey, and I actually had a chance to tell Rick about it and everything else. And I told him about what happened afterwards, of how he took me over to the pay table and gave me $100 tip, and he looked at me, and he goes, "Yo, can I get that $100 back?" But it was neat to finally have a chance to tell him, what he did for me when I first started out and stuff like that. And it was just like a complete circle.
Yeah, I get that 100%.
Yeah. Like the same thing you did with Papa. Yep.
Yeah, same thing I did with Papa. And then I told you I came on Luke Gallows' thing.
Yes.
And Adam Bomb was on.
Yeah.
And he didn't know. I mean, I think I've met him. I've worked him twice. I don't know if we ever saw him again.
I don't think so either.
No, because he went to WCW, and then when Chronic came back to WWE, we were gone by then. That's when they did the merger. So I don't know if I ever saw him again. It was cool to be able to do that. And then I told you I was able to find it on my phone, and I put it up like this. We watched the match, everyone together. So I get those. Those are such cool moments to be able to have and share. And I think the really cool part is those guys appreciate it. Like all the times we see Powers of Pain and Demolition, those guys, and we talk about it. And me, I got Demolition and Powers of Pain action figures right here. I don't have a bunch of action figures on here except for ours. Yeah. So there's got to be special ones for them to be up there. Other than he's up there somewhere. I was going to say Matt Cardona's little Zack Ryder guy, but he's up there somewhere.
So see, it's weird because you have a way better memory than I do. Some of the ones that I guess that actually stick out with me are the WWE ones. I think we always had. the other one that I really liked was the one think it was like SummerSlam or something when we had Tatanka with us or Taka Michinoku with us, and he wore the headbanger skirt and shit like that when we went out. Well,
Oh, I
was
think
that
that was no, I think
was
that was
that?
Hell in the Cell. That was Hell in the Cell in Pittsburgh. We worked Kai and Tai.
Yes, and he was on our
Yeah,
side. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Taka was on our side. We worked Kai and Tai. That's when Mick went off the top of the cage through the table.
Okay.
That was in Pittsburgh.
Another one that I really liked that you're probably going to laugh at because because of all the circumstances behind it is the pay-per-view we did against the Berwickwas over in England when we were
That's the
tag
one I was.
champs.
That's the one I was going to bring up. One night only.
Yep, it was.
That-
We got such a ovation when we came out, and it was beside myself. We were beside ourselves, and the match that we had, I thought was really really good, even though they wanted to beat us and all that
It
other
was,
stuff.
that was a good. If I remember correctly, that was a good 20-minute match. We had a good 15, 20 minutes, and
It
there
was a
was
good
lot of
story.
heat. Yeah, there was a lot of heat. And when I mean heat, I mean in the match, getting heat.
Yeah,
In the match, they had a lot of heat. We were over. It's funny. I watched some of that stuff back, and I don't realize how over we were, especially as as new as we were.
yeah,
How quickly we got over with the fans and everything.
yeah.
But yeah, that was a good one, and I still laugh about it because I remember Savio and them were always like, "We should win the belt tonight. When we get back to the States, we could drop them back." And they were like, "No, how about you just go out there and you put them over?"
Yeah, yes, yeah. My other one of my favorite moments is when we did the blow up chairs, and we went down for King of the Ring, and we sat down by ringside, and we had the headphones on and the popcorn, and we were just being us and being goofy. And
Yeah,
is that when we wrestled Scorp and Rock?
yeah, because they had a singles match, and we
Yes.
interrupted their match, and then we ended up doing a tag against them. Yeah, we went out there and we had the popcorn. We were blowing,
Yep.
we were picking our nose and blowing air
Yep.
hankies all over the place. And Vince and Jay
Yes.
and Lawler were just disgusted with everything we were doing and saying. Yes.
And it was so funny because that's when Vince was still doing commentary, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
It was one of the things that with my memory and stuff, I actually can remember. And in the moment, you don't really realize it until you see it back years and years later and stuff like that. So yeah, that was a really cool moment for me too.
That's the good part for me with the book
Yeah,
is and I'm waiting, by the way, any day to hear from the publisher.
that's cool.
About what's going on with it. It's literally any day. But that's the cool part. And the other cool part about it, first of all, there was a couple of cool factors of doing it. One was just the reminiscing and going, wow, like I didn't realize how much stuff we did. I didn't realize how many opportunities we had. I truly think we were a little before our time
Yeah,
because, we came in and all the big guys were still there. So we weren't able to do, we did a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong. We did a lot of great stuff. But reminiscing about it and watching matches back and then writing about it. The other big thing I got out of the book, and I didn't realize this until I actually finished it, how therapeutic it was for me.
really.
Because yeah, there was a lot of stuff in there that I don't know. I guess I felt I needed to get out, but didn't realize I needed to get out. If that makes sense.
Right.
It was very therapeutic, refreshing, and relieving when I got it done. When I finished it, I was like, "Oh, it's done." Like I was kind of like, I don't know. There was like this calmness that kind of came over me, which was weird. And what else is weird is you're gone and it's a black screen right now. And hopefully he'll be back. If not, we'll babble here. There he is, and he's back.
There you go.
Yeah. So it was just the whole thing, which is very like, and when it was done, I was like relieved, and it was like I don't know, it was emotional. But yeah, it was good, and now I'm working on part 2. So we'll see.
It's
We'll see
funny.
where that.
If I did a book, it would have to be a pop up book because I don't remember shit. You were always the one that saved everything, as you can tell by your background, and like really like I mean all the like the newspaper articles that you have. I mean the thing that you have on the table with all the pictures from the newspapers and the magazines, and I don't have anything like that. Um, so yeah, you were always the saver and the one that had the better memory.
The only thing I wish I would have done differently as far as that goes, and Edge did this, and I started doing this when I first went down to the Monster Factory, was journaling. Um,
Ah,
when I first started going down to school, that's how I remember the exact dates. I actually went. I still have when I first started coming down to Monster Factory. Like I wrote the dates down. I wrote all that down when I first started, and this month is 32 years for me, by the way. Um, but I wrote all the dates and everything down, and the matches, and who I did stuff with for the first probably month, and then I don't know. Then I guess I got on TV and I thought I was a superstar and stopped writing shit down. Anyway, but I know Edge always every night he journaled like who he worked, what he did, and stuff like that. I just wish I would have done that. So I
imagine how
think
many
that,
books that he has now.
yeah,
Like books upon books upon books. That's crazy. I didn't know he
yeah,
did that.
yeah, he did that. And one of the things I started doing with going up to the Performance Center, because Carino does this, and I think it's brilliant what he does, is he journals everything. Like when he's up there, like the matches he did, the match, because you're writing everything down, and then he keeps the sheet. So I started doing the same thing, and he told me, he goes, he has, from being up there for so long, at the being a coach and a producer up there for so long. He's like, yeah. He goes, I just put him in a box. He goes, and I just date him and I put him in a box. He goes, and eventually, if he goes, I go back and I look at stuff. He gives me different ideas, and yeah. So I
Huh.
think that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
only
that
thing I think
is.
I would have done differently. Would have been that. I mean, the internet helped me a lot with the book, but that would have been a lot easier. Just going, here's everything. Go put it together and make it look
Yeah,
pretty.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, go make it sound pretty. Um, so a couple of mine, obviously, first one ever, Atom Bomb, and then so it's coming up next week. Will be 32 years since I debuted on TV against Papa Shango. Because
Oh wow.
my first match was against Atom Bomb, but my first time on TV was my Papa match. So that'll be shared. I think that's the 7th. I think that's July 7th. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so that'll be out. But no, one of the other ones I wrote down, and only because of it was my first belt, was our tag match when we won Larry's belts as the Spiders.
Oh God, against the Lords of Darkness. No, no, that was
Was it Chris? I think it was Chris and the Edge, and then Ed the Razor. I think
Ed the Razor and Christy Edge Evans. Yep.
we dropped him to Dwayne and
To
Barry.
Dwayne and Barry. Yep.
Yeah, that's who we dropped him to, but we won him from Chris and Ed. Yeah. Yeah, that's who we won him from. Yeah, because I remember. Yeah.
So
Let's be in.
do you ever sit and go, I wonder whatever happened to, Chris Evans or, Ray or whatever his name was? Do you ever
Ray
sit and
Odyssey.
wonder what happened to them?
No, not
Jumping
really.
Jim McPherson, Jungle Jim.
No.
Sometimes I sit and I wonder,
No,
and then I forget, what I'm doing, and then I'm all right.
I'm trying to go through. I'm trying to look at the comments here. We don't have that many. We have this guy here who, you remember stealing his mom's makes to try and do headbanger paint. I'm sure that's supposed to be makeup. He got in so much trouble for stealing his mom's makes.
All right.
Oh,
So
look who's on here.
who is it? Simon?
No,
Hey,
Buddy
Kyle.
from Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay.
I don't know if he's still here or not. Oh, wait, let me get to.
I had to put my glasses on to see it.
Jack Covington.
Jack.
He still has. He has scars on his chest from you, not us.
Not
you.
from me, from you.
No, that wasn't me. I wasn't even there.
Oh shoot.
Oh hell. All right, where did you get rid of this? Yeah, so that was one of mine, and then I think the last one was my favorite. My favorite of all time, is, I don't want to say obviously, but from a personal standpoint, is when we were back in 2016 because of
Yeah.
having the video. Having the video of Ty watching us is probably my greatest moment. I guess I don't know if it's a moment or what it is, but yeah, I guess that's probably my favorite out of them all because just the thing with him. And
that's one of mine
yeah,
too, because it was kind of like a full circle thing, like I've always said for me. So
right.
yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, no, that's one of the best because I mean like the girls got to see, the girls came
Yeah.
and watched live in Newark when we were there, but
Yep.
that was always my thing with having Ty, be able to see me live, either in a WWE ring, but he's seen it in WWE ring and live on TV. But then being able to watch him watch me, especially when I did the stupid dad.
Yeah,
His reaction.
and you got so much shit over the internet about that too. That was crazy.
I did. People were like, "Oh, you never did the dab. Now you're doing the dab." I'm like, "There's a reason behind the dab."
Oh my God, the dab was 10 years ago.
That's crazy. That's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's almost 10 years ago. That's nuts. Yeah.
So let me ask you, have you seen the video of these two, I want to say young kids? I think it was on either Twitter or TikTok, or I'm sorry, X or TikTok. They had to be 9 years old. They went
I'm
into
gonna
the
say no.
ring. Have you seen it?
No.
I'll have
I
to
don't
send
know.
it to you so you can see it. These kids put on a wrestling clinic. I mean, it was a good story. It was well put together. It looked good, but my biggest problem was they were 9. They were like 9 years old. And they had to step underneath the bottom rope. They were so little, but they put on such a classic wrestling match. I will definitely send it to you when we hang up.
Was it in someone's backyard?
It was not. It was in it was either a school auditorium or it was like a YMCA kind of thing.
Right.
There was people there. People were popping for it. It was crazy. If they were 15, I'd be surprised. They had to be under 10. They were that little. But
Maybe they
that
were
draws
just
my
maybe
next
they were just
question.
little people. Okay,
That
go ahead.
draws another question. When is too young too young? I mean, we know some guys that started when they were, 14, 15 years old. When is
Well,
too young?
Matt and Jeff started when they were like 15, 16. Remember, Jeff lied about
Right.
his age to get on
Yeah.
TV, to do jobs
To get on
in
TV.
WWE.
Yep.
Right.
When do you think is too young to do this?
Wow. Um, Geez, that's a good question. Because you don't stop. I mean, you don't really stop growing until you're. I mean, shit. I came down to the school 6 foot and 170 pounds. So you really don't stop growing until your mid 20s. I mean, hell, Ty's
Yeah.
21. That kid's still growing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that because I mean you can't. Yeah, I want to sit here and go, oh, you should be 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Then you look at, Matt and Jeff who have started, Scott Garland started when he was, in his
Yes.
teens.
Yep.
It's funny, like I find out now how many people actually started before me, and they were in their teens. And I'm like, whoa.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We have a lot of people that we worked with that started well in their middle teens, like
Yeah.
15, 16 years. Yeah, it's just crazy. But to
Well, I mean,
see these
Scott's son's
kids,
doing it. I don't know how old Scott's son is, but he's got to be in his teens still. Keegan's got
yeah,
to be in his teens still. Um, I guess it depends on. I guess the biggest thing is it depends on what you're doing. If you're taking a lot of crazy bumps, I mean, you're not going to be walking when you're 30, 35. If you're doing it smart, and you're just grappling and you're not doing any crazy stuff, I don't see a big deal with it. But shit, I couldn't imagine Ty doing it when he was 15 or 16.
And I wonder if anybody else that's watching or anything else actually saw what I'm talking about or was there or anything like that. Because when I send you the video and you watch it, you're like, wow, that was actually really good. I can't believe they were 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, however old they are. But they don't have hair on their balls. That's for sure. but, but yeah, that's how young they are.
Yeah, I don't know if there's. Yeah, I don't. I guess it just depends on the kid. It depends on the parents.
Yeah.
It depends on what they're doing. I mean, I couldn't imagine. I don't want to say beat up. That's not the right word, but the soreness that I have, from doing it for 32 years. Imagine doing it for 40 years and being, 50, 55. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I mean, hell, Ric Flair was still trying to do it at 75. So is there a limit that we should cut them off? Also, let's look at the other side of it. At what point do they stop?
Yeah, at what point do we stop?
My answer is this for that. I stop when either people don't want to pay us what we want, or we just don't feel like we can keep up in the ring and we look like garbage.
Yeah.
But with the way I just talked about this with Larry today, I told him about our match we had in Youngstown, Ohio. Like we don't have to. We're at the point now, and I don't want this to come across to everyone listening or watching this way, the wrong way. But we don't have to do all that shit anymore. We just got to go in, entertain, make people laugh, and get out of the ring. And the match we did in Youngstown, I think, was exactly that. We did shots, we had beer, and we had a good time. And I think the people got their money's worth, and they had fun, and the promoter loved it, which is all that matters. And
it's funny too, because a lot of the comments that I've read that people were there and everything else said how much they had a great time, how fun the match was, stuff like that. So, and how people on the internet are so cynical nowadays. So, yeah.
Uh-oh. Are we gonna disappoint Kyle here? He's looking forward to seeing us in Nova Scotia.
That's right. We're coming. Haven't been there in 30 years, I think they said.
Yeah.
The end of August.
Mike, I don't know where in Nova Scotia. All I know is Nova Scotia.
Yes. We'll be posting I guess stuff about it soon.
Yeah, I'll get stuff and I'll get we'll get it out as soon as we get some stuff about it. But yeah, I don't know where in Nova Scotia is. Nova Scotia that big?
I have no idea either.
I don't know.
I know it's somewhere north in Canada-ish, but that's it.
Yeah, we got to go through the border.
Yes.
Kyle says he thinks Bridgewater and Barrington Passage.
There you go. That a boy, great. Kyle.
Whatever that means.
That a boy, Kyle.
All right, cool. So we're done here.
All right.
What do you want to plug? Oh, hold on a minute. Kyle, you should know how to spell Thrasher.
Terrible.
Trasher. The show was in Upper Michigan. Trasher.
Terrible.
Oh, did I tell you about the this guy Joe Spencer?
Yeah.
Was on here with the French fries.
Yeah, I saw it. I watched your podcast. I watched.
Yeah, but he didn't send the video.
He gave me the wrong video. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I heard you. I heard it.
Yeah. Oh, so you're starting a podcast though, also.
I am.
Here's my question with Joe, because I did his podcast also.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to start doing more with him, which is cool. Why does he tag me on everything? Like I get a tag from him on Instagram in the story, and it says, "Oh, add to your story." And then I look at it, I'm like, "I'm not even in this. Why are you tagging me?" I don't know.
I don't know. So yeah, me and Joe are going to start a podcast. It's going to be Talking Trash with Thrasher. So it's going to be a little bit different. There's going to be a little bit of edge to it, a little controversy. Um, Probably some things that people might take negatively or the wrong way or whatever. But um, I'm going to give out my opinion. We're going to be interviewing other people. Actors, UFC people, some wrestlers, some all kinds of stuff. Um, Joe reached out to
Just
me. I
remember,
did this.
hold on. Just remember, this is Glenn's opinion, not mine. don't let his negativity be connected to me. Okay, go ahead. I just wanted to throw
Hey,
that
I
out
didn't
there.
say it was going to be negative. It was just going to be a difference of some
You
opinions.
said it's
Uh,
gonna be you said it's gonna be edgy and there's gonna be negativity. You're gonna bring up negative stuff. I don't want negative stuff on me. So that negativity stays on your side over here.
So, like Joe reached out and I did the podcast with him, and he texted me like 3 days later. He's like, "Man," he goes, "I don't know what it is." He goes, "It's because you guys are from New Jersey, which we originally are." He goes, "You guys have a huge following, and I have 30 plus emails about people asking me questions about you, about your wrestling, being the Spider, and they remember this and sharing different things." He goes, "Why don't we try to do a podcast?" I said, "It's funny." I said, "Me and Chet, we've always tried to do it, but conflicting schedules and whatnot and everything else, it just hasn't, you know, happened." So he was like, "We can do, twice a month, once a month, whatever. Let's just see how it is." So I said, "You know what? I'll give it a try. See what happens." So yeah, that's coming sometime in July, probably mid-July.